Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's your favorite dark sorcerer here, Angelus, son of Abaddon. And today I'd like to discuss a little bit about sacrifices, okay, both human and animal alike. This morning I had posted things on rules, regulations, and I guess you'd call it overall conduct, okay? As practitioners, we have rules of conduct. And I did this on Facebook and I shared it into a number of groups. And a lady came back and basically said not to get off topic, okay, but went into the aspects of not wanting to harm anything, okay. But she basically mentioned a gray wolf, okay, and her work as being evil, vile, full of animal or human sacrificing, stuff like that. And I told her, I said, look at your history, okay? Look at the practitioners worldwide, no matter what religion or philosophical formulation that you follow, okay? Christianity, just within the books of Moses, okay? When we go into the book of Genesis, we see how Abraham, also known as Abram, was told to sacrifice his only son, Isaac. Okay. Later on, we also see Cain, just before that, I should say, in chapter 4 of Genesis, we see where he kills his brother. Okay. Think of it as a human sacrifice. Okay. But then again, he himself also made a sacrifice. Okay. He was branded with a mark that is both a curse and a warning to let people know he's been marked by their God. Okay, so in fact, he sacrificed himself and became known as the murderer, the father of murders, murderers. Okay, we go into the book of Leviticus. We see the burnt offerings from that of sin offerings to that of just about every type of sin or burnt offering you can think of for just about any topic. When we go into the New Testament, we see the exact same thing, except for this time it's just simply human sacrificing. Their so called JCI God, okay, being crucified. That is the image that he goes by, the crucified God. Okay. Even Peter himself would rather have been crucified invertedly rather than being crucified in the same manner as his God, all right, his Lord. If we go into voodoo, no matter if Haitian, Central American, North American, or even African traditions, we see where animals are kept safe. They are well respected right up until the time they have their throats slit and they are sacrificed, bled out. Even throughout the books of Moses, we also see the same type of care to notice the traditions of the clean animals or the clean goat, such as in the lots, which is chapter 16 or chapter 10, verse 16. Was it chapter 10? It's either, I want to say it's chapter 16, verse 10. Okay, when Adam cast lots, okay, the two goats. one spotted, one clean. Okay. Clean meaning without sin or without blemish. Okay. Whereas the other one had spots like leopards. Okay. And it was cast out into the desert to Azazel. Okay. The who is known as Jehovah's equal. All right. Now, the other one was sacrificed. The blood was used to feed the gods. The flesh was burnt, and the entrails pulled out and left on the altar as an offering. Okay, so this really is nothing new. Okay, so in voodooism, voodoo, you have the animals with their throats being slit, the blood being drained from them. In African traditions, you have dogs being beheaded and their bodies swung over the Nganga, okay, the coffin, the ritual altar, okay, giving homage to the gods, the Loa. All right. Now, even in Palo Mayumbi, it is the exact same thing. The blood offerings, the sacrifices. It's both human and animal alike. Go back into the Druids, back in the ancient Gaelic system. They sacrificed animals and humans. This is shown within Stonehenge, both in England and in here in the U.S. The Stonehenge in Salem, New Hampshire, that sits on the end of a ley line. Okay, a massive ley line shows the trenches where the blood was siphoned and went down into these little creases and then went underneath the altar for whoever was under there to catch the blood. Okay. You go down into South America or Central America, for an example. In Mexican witchcraft, you see where animals are eliminated, put to death. Okay. Tongues placed on canning jars. You know, a whole bunch of other aspects from bones being utilized in hexcraft, even in witchcraft in general, dark paganism, Satanism, shamanism. It doesn't matter. It's all there. Skulls on the altar representing chiromancy, okay, the doorway or gateway to the gods through spiritual communion. All right. So, like I said, this really isn't anything different. It is not even anything that's new. Even today, we're seeing where the Boko or Bokor in Malawi have been accused of human sacrificing. Okay. Body parts have been found of their dead relatives in bags that they carry around. Okay. You go into necromancy and that of nigromancy. Okay. That of spiritual conjuration or rejuvenation aspects. The bones within black magic itself represent certain things from healing to hexcraft. You name it, it's there. All right. So, I mean, even as idols and idol worship goes, you're still seeing this exact same thing today. It's really nothing new. It's nothing that hasn't changed. The only difference is that nowadays you have individuals who think, "Oh, we've evolved," or "Oh, you don't need to do this to gain communion with the gods." Then how do you expect? Then I want to ask this: how do you explain, okay, all these big time practitioners who have become successful? You know, look at EA Koetting and what he's created in just 7 years. Okay, 7 years. More so in the last couple of years when he started putting out these grimoires. How many people have flocked to him? Okay, look at S. Connolly. She's running her own publishing company. She has put out at least 10 books, if not more. Raymond Buckland, Eliphas Levi, Michael W. Ford. Look at Anton Zandler work, still being published today. And it's 15 years, if not more, since he died. Scott Cunningham, all his books through herbalism. Now, just because herbalism was used in poisoning enemies, three types of powders: black, which kills; amber, which makes sick; and white, which heals. Associated with witches. Does this mean people should stop practicing witchcraft, or that you evolved that you don't need herbalism or even alchemy for that matter? Hmm. Think about that. All of this stuff that I just named off is associated with witchcraft and sorcery in general. Everything from divination, such as cartomancy, which has been around since the 11th century, more so since the 16th, 17th century when it really became popular. And again, just within the last 100 years. Okay? Get into the seven forbidden arts. You're going to see the exact same thing. Hey, Lord Hades. Okay? So the fact that this individual believes that we've evolved, that you don't need to do human or animal sacrificing, but yet in the same contradiction claims that she shies away from, on one hand, animal and human sacrificing, but yet will stick to blood sorcery, which is associated with both animal and human sacrificing. See, it's that hypocrisy of how can you do this and not believe in this? You see the point. It's it's hypocrisy, it's dualism. You're basically canceling out your own magical workings by your illogical stupidity. You either do or you don't. It is like atheism. Oh, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God and I don't believe in the devil. But yet you'll sit there during the freaking rituals and call on all these lords and gods and goddesses from your pantheons. It's dualism. It's hypocrisy. And you're canceling yourself out. You're either all in or you're all out. There is no intermediary. You know, you got these gray witches now. Same exact thing. The only difference is they practice both the light and the dark. Okay? You got Satanists and you got Christian Satanists, Christian witches, and witches in general. But yet, oh, we can all get along. Hmm. Well, let's take a look here. In the last 1,000 years to 2,000 years, the Vatican basically has told people that the only way to practice safely is to become a sorcerer in their order. Hmm. Anything else is evil, vile, baneful, and of the devil. Hmm. But yet, we know that most of the grimoires out there today, ranging from the Grand Grimoire to that of the Black Magic by Richard Cavendish, from everything from Pope Honorius to the Clavicle of Solomon, you know, to the Black Raven, even that of the workings of Nicholas Remy, okay, Reginald Scott. These are all people who served the church, okay, not actual practices, because anything outside of them have been condemned and seen as evil. Okay, but yet they believe that they can service this sorcery safely because they utilize the names of power, which originally originated within the Kabbalah, the Hermetics, the Qliphoth, okay, the tree of life and the tree of death, okay, the mirror image, okay. So, I mean, to see an individual sit there and say, well, I shy away from human and animal sacrificing, but yet I'll stick to my own blood. Is that not considered human sacrificing? Because you're sacrificing your own blood. You're giving an offering to the gods, no matter if it's the Ugan, the Loa, or the Blighton lords and ladies of the court. Okay? It does not matter. Sacrificing is sacrificing, no matter what spin or what name you put on it. It is only a modern day thing that people have suddenly decided, oh, we've evolved. We don't need to do this stuff anymore. That's like Christians saying, well, I don't have to pray. I'm already sanctified. Yeah, probably has a pompous ass, but but still. My point is this: you cannot have one without the other. Because if you think that you can, you're just going to defeat whatever you're doing, whatever you're aiming for or striving for. You want to be a sorcerer, you want to be a sorceress, you want to master things, then get away from the hypocrisy and the duality. Learn for yourself, not taking things at face value. Okay? I can do videos like this all day long, but it's like that old proverb, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make him drink. Okay? That's up to you. A man who does not learn from history is doomed to repeat it. You look at the world today, they say, "Oh, we're not at war, we're at peace. We're trying to create peace." What's that old gunnery sergeant in the artillery aspects of Italy? All right, I remember what he said. You want peace? Prepare for war. You know, and this actually goes along with my studies into the this mythos of the Sith. And like I said in yesterday's video, everything I've studied up until this point, from the Mazajira Cabal aspects of the Sith to that one page, or no, I should say the page and a quarter of Charnel Whispers, page 62 and 63, that was based off the Sith, or mentions the Sith by name, which took me into Norse mythology and that of the Fae. From there, it was either based off their movies or in their little saying of power and breaking of chains and stuff like that, to that of video games like Diablo. Okay. Now, what I found interesting though is the Sith was actually associated with the Siddhi in Scottish traditions. But yet, when you go into Irish, it's literally translates into Sith. Okay. So you're seeing where people are looking into this stuff. Not on a more on a subconscious level though. It's just they're using different names. They're using different belief structures and they're trying to twist it into their own aspects. You see, it's no longer about faith or belief in a god or goddess, lord or lady, okay? It's more about money and power today. Who has it and who doesn't. It's about getting ahead. It's about making a name for yourself and becoming popular. It's not about the sorcery. It's not about the magic. And that's something I like about the Mazajira Cabal system. It's pure. They've kept their name pure. Sure, for hundreds of years, they've kept it secret up until Sumner Redwood decided to put out the books. But even he said it himself in one of the books that this is only partial. And I'm using my own terminology on this. It's only partial. It's a small amount. You have to be the one to get up and go out there and look for this stuff. I can lead you to the door. I can show you the path, but I'm not going to do the work for you. That's up to you. But like I said, I just wanted to get on here and bring this up real fast and just kind of show you what's been going on within some of these groups on Facebook, but also with the traditions and the thought forums, not just to the practices themselves. But you can even go into ancient Aztec and Incan as well. The spiritual doors, the gateways, the portals, they're there. That lead you to the gods and goddesses cities. Every tradition has them. Every single one. Just a different outlook. You don't believe me? Good. Go do your own homework. I hope this has been intellectual. I hope it's been educational. And until next time, have a good day.